Never saw a flasher. Hello and welcome to Not 40, Just Blank, a podcast where we aim to take you back in time through the years and discuss the weird and wonderful events of that year, which we think made it so memorable. Each episode will see us discuss the major talking points of that particular year, from TV, films and music through to the news events of that year, as well as the odd and funny stuff that got us all talking. Hello and welcome to Not 40, Just Blank. This week sees us chatting all things 1990. I'm James, I'm joined by two of the sharpest minds I know, Phil and Del. So gentlemen, we're discussing the last great decade, the 90s, and what better place to begin than at the beginning, 1990. The 80s were over. There we were, second year of senior school, wide-eyed, walking the corridors, trying not to lose our dinner money, desperate for girls to notice us, but the bullies not to. Phil, first thoughts, 1990.
1990, yeah, so new decade. Like as you mentioned, who was 11 stroke 12.
Why were you stroking 12-year-olds?
Yeah.
I mean, the chance be a fine thing.
Yeah, 11 stroke 12, first and second year senior schools. 1990, I don't remember much, apart from, but I suppose the obvious thing would be the World Cup.
There was a World Cup?
Yeah, wow. World Cup. My first World Cup, anyway, properly.
I didn't realise you went.
Yeah.
Wowzers.
Italy. Yeah.
Back up for Lineker, weren't you, mate?
Yeah. A bit later on.
He's got a look of Terry Butcher about him, hasn't he?
Yeah.
This is my home.
Yeah, man.
So secondary school.
Formative years, wasn't it? That was the thing. It was, out of the little school, into the big school. Everything looked fucking enormous.
Yeah. New fish, weren't we?
New fish.
Yeah.
Little ones at that.
Yeah.
It was fresh meat.
Yeah,
fresh meat at the school.
First year's the hardest year, man.
Man alive, Tell me about it. What about you, Dale? What do you think? What do you remember?
I remember lots and lots of hanging around in parks. Which
nothing's changed.
Football coats for me. That was Umbro football coats. I remember that. They were amazing. Yeah, you felt like a football manager. You had the attitude of a football manager, but you just weren't a football manager. But I remember that. Lots of finding porn in woods as well. Parks and woods. I've got pretty much. That was all my 1990, really, mate. Getting beaten up at school and parks and woods, mate.
Seamen in forests.
Pretty much, mate.
The whole damn.
I'm not too sure I could even produce it at that time, but I wanted to. And I was like, I was trying to sort of will it to happen, sort of thing.
Totally willing, just had none of the tools.
If I went on a quest, it was like the Holy Grail, like King Arthur's like spunk finding sort of. I'd pot. I don't know.
Readers' wives.
Yeah,
Readers' wives the favourite.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't. Well, anyone's wife, really. Yes. It was not. That's weird. Anyone's wife.
I say he was only 11.
Yeah, that's that kind of. And that's a big category, isn't it?
He was already looking to commit adultry.
Adultery, yeah. Exactly.
Not being married himself.
And anyone's wife as well. That's like, oh my god. That's
That's what it should have been called. Any port in a storm, essentially, shouldn't it? It was just anything. Or
and that was the year of the growler as well, wasn't it? There's some big bush. Big Bush was still popular then.
So we figured that Dale at 11 years old, his main ambition was to be a home wrecker.
A home wrecker, pretty much, yeah.
A mass adulterer, but particularly in the park.
I was Rebecca De Mornay, pretty much. I was like that.
An alfresco Rebecca De Mornay.
I wanted to home wreck, but pretty much. Yeah. But it wasn't cradles I was rocking, it was, I don't know, probably my bed at home. Trying to get that first burst.
The bunk beds are rocking, don't come knocking.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, ickiness. But yeah, that was pretty much it really, mate. I'm probably playing kick-off or sensible soccer.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was the top, the games, I think. Micro Pro Soccer is them sort of early sort of football sort of games. Yeah. Trying to think of other classic games of the time.
What would that have been? Into sort of the Mega Drive kind of an era?
I don't know if it was just before. It's
Master
like
System.
That's still be Master System.
Master
so Chase HQ.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have had Amiga.
Amiga and Atari STs. That's the one.
Yeah, so Amiga like Microsoft Soccer.
Microsoft, things like Gauntlet 2, whatever it was. Yeah, Outrun.
I love Gauntlet.
So that was
Gauntlet was a great game.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was good, but it used to crash. It used to get up to like the 200 level or some shit, and then you'd just crash. Yeah, and I don't know. Who did you like to be? Was you barbarian wizard or was you the elf?
I must have come from a very poor, broken home. I don't remember these computer games at all. I had nothing.
It was very basic, mate. It was, I
had nothing. I was busy patrolling the woods looking for pornography.
Yeah, exactly.
Adulterous women just looking to
we was
cheating on their husband. Clearly,
taking shifts, mate, for the porn watch. Yeah.
So we're a mix between absolutely horny, riddled bastards and absolute nerds. Is this what we're saying?
Pretty much.
Are we starting off pretty strong with that? That's a statement of intent.
That's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that first year was a tough year. You found out a lot, didn't you?
Yeah, but as we go on in the next episode, still, I don't think we're going to
nothing much is going to change.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to suddenly turn into these
respectable
spoiler
members of
alert
the community.
But, nothing much has changed in 28 years, is it?
Nah,
not really. No. Still.
But, yeah. That's so. Yeah,
I still regularly hunt for porn in woods.
It's
just
that's why I bought a dog. I didn't want it for exercise. Didn't want the companionship.
It's better accessible.
Yeah,
accessibility these days, isn't it?
Exactly.
Fortunately, there's a 4G everywhere.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I could just picture though, like Dale, instead of just like going to the toilet or in his bedroom, he just still goes and finds a place over in the woods with his phone just to just for a bit of privacy.
What's that rustling in the bushes, Daddy? Don't look. Don't look, it's a podcast star.
They're the worst kind of people.
They really are. Absolute deviants, one and all. To a man.
Yeah, no, that is pretty much, that was the 1990 for me. With yourself. Trying to get kisses.
And did we succeed?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to kiss and tell, gents, but...
I don't think...
I can't remember.
1990 was not a good year. It was not profitable.
No, me neither.
No, from reference points of what we've researched, I can't remember it.
You was telling me you played Past the Polo Mint the other day.
Yeah, I thought it was 1990. Maybe it might have been. Past the Polo, yeah.
Was you not ready for the mint with the hole? Or the girl with the hole?
I wanted extra strong mint.
He was all whole, no mint. That's Phil's problem.
You remember Past the Polo, do you?
We never played it.
What?
You can't even throw that at me, and you'll be hearing
you said
from
it
my
like
solicitor.
You and Jim have played it before.
You remember that.
You remember that night?
You remember that?
Those crazy days. Yeah, I remember. You never called, but it's fine. I've forgiven you.
1990. Probably not. Probably a bit later.
Yeah,
wait till we get 1992.
Was that?
Did you really start to ramp up the output at that point?
Was that Lick the Tree Ball?
Yeah.
Just
Going
a variety
stronger,
of
the triple X sex.
body parts and menthol. Okay, just rubbing a Tic Tac all over your nipples or something.
Oh, man, yeah. There's lots to go from.
God, what a summer that was.
It's going to burst into Bryan Adams.
Really, yeah, forget 69, it was 1990. So aside from the World Cup, what other things can we remember from that particular year? I've got a couple of thought starters for you, chaps. Big things in the news that year.
Yeah, okay.
The reunification of Germany, all thanks to David Baddiel. No, not David
Baddiel.
David Hasselhoff. See, this is why you write things down. Can you imagine if David Baddiel was responsible for reunifying Germany?
As well.
I mean, it's a stretch that David Hasselhoff did it, but he did. Singing on top of the Berlin Wall.
He was.
New Year's Eve, looking for freedom. There he was.
Mate.
Who knew the star of Baywatch was going to reunify?
It's like, surely, yeah. Mate, if he should have gone properly, he should have got in kit and then drove into that fucking wall.
Can you imagine?
Or turbo boosted.
It took him 8 months to knock it down. He would have done that overnight, wouldn't he?
I mean, he wouldn't drive into it, though. He'd just talk to his watch, wouldn't it? And then the kit would just burst through it.
Done it from
Talk
afar,
to his
wouldn't
watch.
he?
Was he crazy?
He wouldn't be in the car. He wasn't a lunatic, was he?
Yeah, that's true.
Do it by remote control. Yeah, absolutely.
And he's still getting public viewing as well. Cameras are on him.
He's still there, belting out the song. Leather jacket on.
Kit just burst through the wall. Bang.
What a start to a year that would have been.
It's not a bad year, man.
That was New Year's
Start
Eve
of a
as well.
decade, not just
Start
a
of a
year.
decade, yeah, absolutely. The great decade.
Well, but more importantly, with Germany, do you remember in 1990 the most monumental thing that happened?
Aside from winning the World Cup.
Apart from winning the World Cup, apart from the Berlin Wall, what else is more important than that?
I feel like it's going to be porn again with you, Dale.
No, it's not. I want to stay away from that.
We're going to stay away from that.
I'm going to sort of rehab for it.
I can't even begin to fathom. You're going to have to give us a
You've
hand.
probably shopped there a few times.
Oh, Aldi's opened or something.
First ever Aldi.
What, in the UK?
No, in Germany.
Oh, okay.
But that was in Germany. That was a big thing.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck about winning the World Cup or
Man, this guy's done some serious research.
I
did not have that. That didn't come up on a very cursory glance at Google.
I know.
Someone's really done some work. Exactly. 10 points, Richard Dello.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
It was only because it was in an interview by one of the readers' wives.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's what it is.
It all comes information.
Back. Yeah, page 36. Readers' letters.
Doreen Jones
loves Aldi.
Loves anal and Aldi.
I do apologise if there was any Doreen Jones.
No, don't apologise. Doreens are horrendous now. Sorry.
Before we besmirch any more Doreens, what else might have happened in 1990? Nelson Mandela, released from prison after 27 years.
And he released a new album as well.
And he released a new album. I believe it Reunified Germany. With David Baddiel. What a twosome that would have been. Mandela and Baddiel back again.
Mandela and Baddiel, that's got a ring to it, isn't
That's a different version of Three Lions. A bit further up the line I'm thinking.
But there's lions in South Africa, isn't there?
Was Nelson Mandela the fourth member of the Merry White House experience?
Man, that would be brilliant.
Hugh Dennis, there's Rob Newman, David Baddiel and Nelson Mandela. Now I remember the four.
What sort of music do you reckon they play? Or do you reckon they're hard rockers? Do you reckon they're hitting the reggae?
I'm thinking thrash metal.
Thrash metal,
Thrash metal, yeah.
What, Baddiel ones?
What,
and
Mandela? Yeah.
Mandela's reggae and Baddiel proved to be a bit...
Well, he could be jazz. I reckon
bit indie, didn't he, I'd say.
He could turn his hand to a...
I reckon Mandela could have a bit of jazz to him.
Oh, unquestionably.
Yeah, I reckon, get that sax out.
There was jazz in them their hands. Absolutely.
Get that sax out.
Well, he had 27 years to learn an instrument, didn't he? Let's be honest.
And Baddiel was hard on him as well.
He really was. He pushed him. But that was good because Nelson was a bit lazy at times.
Well, yeah, as well. And that's why they got a number one album as well.
Very true.
That's what happens, yeah.
It was all Baddiel. All Baddiel. I mean, there were various other things. It was all quite a depressing year when you think back over it. Maggie Thatcher finally got out of the way after 11 years. But after bringing in the poll tax, riots aplenty.
And she, what other things did she snatch?
Succeeded by John Major.
John Major.
Exactly.
Spitting image dream, wasn't he?
Thatcher the purse snatcher or the milk snatcher.
She snatched anything, didn't she?
She just snatched.
Kids.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. She was full on hardcore. Man, she would have made a brilliant Disney sort of like Cruella de Vil type.
Very
villainous.
Much so. Imagine that.
I think so, yeah.
Her in a whole Dalmatian coat, just waltzing into the Houses of Parliament. All right.
Mate, I reckon.
Nice coat, Maggie.
Maggie was prone. That was prone. I don't even know.
She was absolutely. That just makes it sound like she's
Maggie
absolutely ready.
I said it with confidence, like I actually knew what I was talking about. But she was prone. But yeah, then you had like Major, didn't you? He was a bit wet, wasn't he? He appeared to be because Spitting Image portrayed him as being grey, didn't he?
Yeah.
Nice
How
piece.
many years was Major in? Was it just a 4?
Too long, though, wasn't it? Too long. He made
didn't
his
get
mark.
2 turns, did he?
He made his mark, had a go with Edwina Curry and then disappeared into the...
There was a lot of scandal in that office, wasn't there?
Wasn't there?
David Mellor with the toe sucking, wasn't there?
Maybe that's where we were going wrong, lads.
What toe?
We should have got into politics.
Okay. I thought you meant toe sucking.
Porn politics.
Turns out it's an absolute hotbed of loving.
Yeah, there's a lot of lolly.
It's a whole lot of lolly.
No, I reckon. That's got to be disappointing. Edwina Curry, though, surely, like he could probably sort of go a hell of a lot better than that, but he chose the curry. He went for
to be fair, if I'm going to go anywhere, I'm having a curry.
Yeah, but when you like an angry Thatcher fuck, that could be quite interesting.
I mean, that lady wasn't for turning, though, was she? So it's only missionary. Only missionary with Maggie. Turns out.
I reckon. Well, she could quite easily strap on. I think.
Get pegging.
I think so. Yeah, I think there's a lot of angry love in that lady.
Man,
Poor Dennis didn't seem the sort of guy that sort of.
I was not expecting this kind of these levels, guys.
Well, we could go deep.
So could
we can go deep and dark.
Right.
Deep and dark.
Just like the mines. Cutting. Satire almost.
Don't bring
satire. I'm going to move away from that.
Don't start them up again.
I'm going to move away from that. I'm going to move away. What else happens? Can you believe J.K. Rowling got the idea for that little specky wizard in 1990?
Wow.
Took her 5 years to write the book, apparently.
Oh, okay. I thought she was a bit more up to date than.
No.
Oh, fair enough.
Started in 1990, finished in 95.
Oh, okay. We've got
All manner of nonsense. What else you got? What else do you remember, chaps? What's your research turned up?
One of the things I got, the Channel tunnel links
Yes.
between Britain and France. It wasn't obviously when it officially opened, but there was apparently the work on it, and then there was two men squeezed through a hole, an Englishman and a Frenchman, and met.
Sounds like he's going to do a shitty joke.
Yeah,
but the funny thing is the names. I love the names. The French name is like.
Oh.
No, but it's quite a great name. It sounds great. It's Philippe Gazette. But can you guess? I don't know if any of you know what the English name was. The English person was it?
Tell me, it was a Gary.
No, it's not far off.
Was it Tom Beef?
No, it's just as bad as that. It's Graham Fagg.
Wow.
I just love the way we got an English guy called Graham Fagg, and then you got Philippe Gazette. It sounds so much rolls off the tongue so much better than Graham Fagg.
Well, Phil, would you be happily change your name to Philippe Gazette?
Yeah, definitely. So
it's not a bad alter ego to have.
Philippe Yellow Advertiser.
That is
more
definitely better than Philip Fagg anyway.
Philip Fagg, yeah.
That's one of the bits I got for 1990.
Okay, I've got a few more, I think.
Go on, hit us up, Dale. What's your knowledge?
Right, the Leaning Tower of Pisa was closed. Does anyone know why?
It was health and safety, wasn't it? So
No.
Was it not?
No, they made a water flume. Yeah, the giant water
They were
flume.
installing a massive
Yeah,
slide.
Big helter skelter.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be great. No, it was. You're right, mate. It was actually closed.
It was leaning too far.
It was leaning too far. Yeah.
But didn't Superman push it back?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, and I was thankful for that.
Yeah,
They are legitimate films, aren't they? They're based on
he
trees.
definitely
all those
pushed it
films.
back.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
true. He kind of messed it up, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's just Pisa after that, and that's no one bothered turning up after that.
No, that poor mascot bloke who was selling all the plates and stuff. He was getting angry, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
But he kept pumping his fist. He was flying
that
off.
have one angry person?
Threatening Superman's quite a bold statement as well. Isn't it? That's a step and a
Just
half.
comes back. What you
do?
He worked out for like 200 years.
Come on.
He come back a General Zod. So, but yeah, I don't know if this is right. I've got it written down here. I think it's right. The first Iraq War.
Yeah, I think
Iraq War 1.
I think there was
Iraq invaded Kuwait.
Yeah, I think the actual war started in 91, but the Iraqi invading Kuwait started.
But
which did start the war.
Right,
but the official war started the year after.
We won't go too much.
Because I got the official sticker book for that.
Yeah.
You got, the Panini.
Completed it,
Silver Hussein.
Silver Saddam. Yeah, I had to swap quite a few.
Mate. Well, tell me, Major wasn't a silver, was he? Or a gold?
He wasn't even a...
It wasn't.
You had that centerfold of the warheads.
Yes.
You had to get 4 stickers to me.
Wow, that's pretty good. Was Bush in there? Bush?
You go back to your porn again.
Yes. Obsessed with Bush. Right. You've got
anything
to
Bush. It has to be there. No, Georgie boy. I mean, he must be in there, surely.
I would imagine
he was. Yeah, page 12.
Well, this is quite relevant actually because there's another bit of time. Unless you want to talk more war, do you want to talk more war?
Well, what is it good for?
Exactly. Not for a podcast.
Absolutely nothing. It turns out.
Well, Bush and Gorbachev. You know the guy with the squiggly mark on his head.
Sure. Yeah, that's Harry Potter, isn't it?
That's right. They agreed on a chemical weapon ban.
Very good of them.
But they did decide on a shitload of nuclear missiles.
Yeah. We'll lose the chemical stuff. We'll just move straight on to absolute DEFCON 2.
There was a very famous TV cartoon show that aired for the first time.
Oh, yeah, I've got that as well.
Oh, hello, Dolly. I think I might have got this somewhere.
Yeah, we're all going to have that one. That's
that'll come in probably later anyway.
Yeah, let's hold that back.
The other thing, proper news, this one. The ban on the Ivory Trade.
Yes, indeed.
And that worked out really well, didn't it?
That did, because those elephants are flourishing.
Yeah, but they go, thank you. I don't know what.
That's exactly how.
That's the shittest elephant impression.
That's an Indian elephant.
Can we just go around everyone and see the best elephant impression?
Yeah, Phil.
Come on, Phil. Hit me.
I mean, he's actually
come on, you can't. You're really
have to do the trunk as well.
Yeah, of course you are.
You can't do it without that, can you?
Go.
Oh.
Well, that's all the time we've got. So I think we should probably just move on.
Someone from on the buses or last of the summer wine.
Oh, you are awful. But I like it.
Fuck no.
That's beautiful.
That was just
We'll take it. That's as close as we're getting.
Three
grown men.
I think we can all admit. Can't do
elephant impressions.
But fortunately, that's not why the viewers are here, is it?
That's it.
Hey, Sebastian, your dad loves yogurt. He's sick in the head, mate. He gets it all matted in his Tom Selleck-like chest there, and he asked me mum to get it out with her one tooth. Fuck your dad and fuck yogurt.
So I've got news bigger than all of that.
Than all of that.
All of that.
Than all of that.
All of that together.
Sure. This is
Euro dance band Mini Vanilli admitted to lip syncing.
Oh.
That is big. That is huge.
And they had the Grammy Award evoked that year.
Damn right they
That's
did.
gutting, isn't it? Yeah.
I remember that.
I mean, it's just crap though, isn't it? I mean, there's so many other bands that lip sync and do that. Why were they outed? Why were they made an example?
They didn't actually sing the songs.
Yeah, no, but so there's loads of songs.
Yeah,
where
I know,
did that.
but they were just essentially male models, weren't they? That's all it was. They funded it. But you got the old, loads of the, I can't remember.
Black Box was the big one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. You got
one,
loads. That's why I don't get why this was such a big thing. It was the first one or something. But like I say, there was so many bands that did that.
Yeah.
I think they probably outed them because they wanted to kick the shit out of them.
I don't know. I
They're very
feel
annoying.
for them, and I think we should do a little petition to get them back. Or something.
Yeah, see if they're still
Weren't they
rocking along.
German based?
I think they were German, yeah.
So,
absolutely.
God.
There's a lot of Germany.
Peppered all over the news
Exactly,
in 1990, wasn't it?
They are just hogging the news.
Well, that and the Sunbeds, as it turns out.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of a 90s comedy creeping in there as well. One for the Manning fans.
That is right, man. Well,
So that is what I believe to be the big news items. I mean, had we have known back then that the work had begun on the World Wide Web in 1990, which it did, that could have totally changed my...
it was the Swiss guy, wasn't it?
mind. So Tim Berners-Lee, and then he was doing some stuff in CERN. But
it's the first web server, wasn't it?
You think about that, that's just 31 years ago. It's totally changed the entire world. How everything is done.
Question
it's insane,
for you.
isn't it? Go on.
If you could go back in time, would you allow the internet to happen or not?
Oh, that is a big question, Phil. I didn't realise.
Allow it to happen.
Yeah, would you stop it from? Would you prevent it from happening? Do you think
kids would
basically?
still
Do you
be
think
doing
it's
homework using?
yeah? Do you think it's done us
Britannica
better having the internet or not?
That's
So
a
if you
tough
could
one,
go,
isn't it?
if you could do a Terminator instead of killing John Connor, you're going back and you're
wiping out
killing
Tim
Tim
Berners-Lee.
Berners-Lee, whatever his name is. And
Wow.
I don't know really. Man.
Maybe we can just do we have to kill him? Can we just maybe get him a girlfriend instead and just say don't worry about it, Tim.
yeah,
Just go and get yourself a nanny.
they'll be best equipped for that then, because he could go back with like his porn mags, give him all of that, and that will keep him busy.
Come down the woods and meet him. While we
take him out.
Just carry on playing football.
Yeah.
I think I'd still let it happen. It's despite all the nonsense that comes with it, it's still a benefit, surely, to mankind, isn't it?
I think so.
I'd argue that.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
I think I'd stand on that and say.
I think it's a tough one.
It's hard to go back now because you got it, but it's
changed everything, hasn't it? That's the thing.
No, that's the thing.
And despite there being a few idiots,
we
you'd love
did
to
so
say
much
this.
before it.
We did, yeah.
We did, but there's a lot of gaps of boredom as well.
I don't know.
There was.
I mean, imagine going to the toilet now and not being able to play on your phone or something. It's going to change everything,
you'd
isn't it?
be quicker at it, wouldn't you?
You'd spend a lot more time with your family, wouldn't you? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good point.
But then you had a toilet book, didn't you, or whatever?
Yeah, or porn.
Exactly.
That was what it was known as. Are you taking that toilet book in there again, Richard? Yes, Mum. Don't be half hour again. Don't worry.
I'll set myself up here.
What about you then, Del? How do you stand?
Yeah, I don't know.
Positive or negative on society and the world?
I always like to be positive, so I'm going to go keep it. But it has.
But there could be an argument that that's not positive.
But yeah, no, there is. You're right, because of things like the terrorism and stuff like that, and all the dark webs and all the sort of Neil Webbs and all the other webs.
Oh, big in 1990, Neil Webbs.
That's going to be lost on everyone, isn't it?
of a certain age. Yeah,
he was
absolutely.
yeah,
But that landed that one.
he was
for
an
me.
ex-England and
That was
Nottingham
delightful.
Forest centre midfield player who ended up turning into a postman.
Let's face it.
He didn't turn into a postman. Like it was like it's got
He
magic
always had it
power.
in
It's
him.
like, and then his last game, he just turned into a postman.
I like to think he was always a postman, but he just occasionally played football.
Got Stuart Pearce down the ring. Cost you, oh fucking hell, Webby's turned into a postman. What the fuck?
Where's Neil Webb? Oh, he's just delivering number 16.
I need a signature on this, Shilton.
Quickly runs into a phone box, gets his uniform on.
Can you take this parcel in for Mrs. Jones? For Doreen? Nah, screw Doreen. This is brought to you by Doreen.
People always say to me that I fuck about. But to be fair, I'd rather fuck about than fuck a boat. But if I was going to fuck a boat, I'd fuck a hovercraft. I'd fuck a boat. We've got so many boats that you can fuck. In a wide-range studio, in warmed, catered conditions, you can fuck a boat at your own will. Why not pop down and fuck a boat?
The Simpsons was first shown on TV in 1990, changing tea time forever.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And
It's still going,
now.
is it?
Still going
yeah,
now.
21 years.
Oh, it was great when it was hot, and I kind of, to be fair, I haven't. It's still pretty good. I haven't watched it in ages, but it's kind
Do
of.
you watch the first ones? Like you catch them now and again, and they're just terrible. Like
It
the
looks
animation,
strange.
isn't it?
But then it's that anything is in SD, isn't it?
Yeah,
4:3,
yeah.
and it just looks.
I know, it's
bizarre.
funny when you see them, the first ones. At the time, you didn't realise, did you? They were like groundbreaking, weren't they? But like, you watch them
Sky
now.
was all new, wasn't it? It was relatively.
Yeah, it was
only a couple of years
it was
old,
based
wasn't
Sky
it?
B, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah.
Because when it first came out as well, Bart was like the main character. You had the Bart song, didn't you?
Do the
Bartman.
Did the Bartman, yeah.
How does it go again, Phil?
I can't remember. Do the Bartman.
So he'll do us an elephant impression, but he won't
Bartman.
sing one of the greatest songs of all time. Sure.
But yeah, he was like the main character, wasn't
Yeah.
he? Or
Yeah, it was
he
all based
but
around
then
him,
obviously,
wasn't it? Yeah.
as Tom and Homer became the.
Yeah, but it's kind of a bit annoying.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't know why. I suppose it was just kids caught on to him, didn't they? But as you got older, you actually realised Homer's the actual.
Homer's the dude. He's the main man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Simpsons. Yeah, it was good, mate. And then wasn't it like then it sort of gave birth to all your South Parks, and now what you got now, isn't it? With
Yeah, absolutely.
Your,
Just an absolute deluge.
Family
Family
Guy.
Guy and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, there's loads of them now, isn't there? They kind of actually get a bit boring now, don't they? A lot of them. But, yeah.
Well, I suppose that neatly segues us on to TV. Okay, so gents, TV from 1990. Any particular standouts, programmes, events? What's
Okay, so I've gone for TV that started airing.
Okay.
Not actually what was airing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So I've done what you. So Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Get Out
yeah,
of Town.
okay.
That was 1990. Mm-hmm. Well, I never did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
And still
started
repeated to this day.
Mr. Bean.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Got that. That was on New Year's Day as well. That's the start of the decade.
And then we've got
Boom.
and then we've got a trilogy here.
Okay.
I've put this into like a little section. This is the trilogy of I don't know how to say it, but like comedy for the older people, I think. So you got
Oh, no, last.
Oh, here we
Keeping
go.
Up
Keeping Up
Appearances.
Appearances. I knew you were going straight down that way. Mrs.
One
Bucket.
Foot in the Grave and Waiting for God. I mean, if there's ever a title for like
Right.
That is
Crusty comedy, you know.
crusty
yeah,
comedy.
Krusty-
Yeah.
let's call it the trilogy, the Krusty Comedy trilogy.
Comedy to piss yourself by.
But yeah, there must have been
Yeah.
some.
Only
There must have been.
because you're so old.
Yeah.
I reckon someone in the BBC writing room or producing company at that point was like of an elderly age and was like, "We need some comedy there."
To be
However,
fair, all BBC was fairly old,
you-
wasn't it? Let's be honest.
you say that, but all of the three that you mentioned, I would rather watch them than that. Buddy, what is Last of the Summer Wine?
Oh, yeah.
Last of the Summer Wine used to. Oh my god, that used to be painful. I was forced to watch
three
that.
old men in a bath every week.
Yeah. Oh, so Nora
a pair of
Batty's
tights on a washing
stockings.
line.
Oh,
Yeah.
my
Do you know actually anyone who liked it though?
Yeah, my mum and dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, like forced to fucking. Like I say, forced
Yeah, I mean,
to.
I
like,
think we
and, like being
I'm-
kidnapped.
I'm guessing somebody in my family did because it did used to be on, but
Don't forget, there was only 4 channels.
yeah, I know that's how
And
bad
the
it was.
occasional access to like Sky and stuff.
Sunday night telly was shit because you had Songs of Praise, Last of the Summer Wine.
Highway on the other side, wasn't there?
It was Harry Seacombe.
Yeah.
How can someone who was in the Goons produce that show?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I just want him to just do some silly
Yeah.
voices or something.
You're absolutely right, though.
It's,
There was some seriously ropey stuff, but yeah.
That
Man alive.
Highway, Howard's Way.
Howard's Way,
Howard's
yeah.
Way is a program about boats.
I mean, that came to an end in 1990, sadly.
Did it?
Oh, really?
Dearly,
Oh, God.
dearly departed.
Was it put down like
Much
sort of
loved,
like a old dog? Was it?
Got boat cancer.
Okay.
Yeah, rust.
The
It
worst,
rusted away.
The worst kind.
Yeah.
The worst kind. I've been watching Friends too much. What else do we have? Baywatch.
Was it really?
Made its appearance.
What, 1990?
1990.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
And man, it has not aged badly. should
No.
I say.
It's so cheap. Yeah.
It was great for winter, especially if Dale stopped to go for the woods.
Well, exactly, yeah. Yeah, where the
Stop me
snow was
This
thick
make me
on
sound
the
like I'm
ground.
a predator. Stop me from like so many girls were saved that year.
6
Stop me
feet
going-
of snow stopped him in his tracks, but Baywatch was on to
Baywatch saved
fill the
hundreds
hole.
of girls.
The police noticed during the winter months the crimes had
We've been
suddenly
graphing
dropped
this,
down.
and it's a real spike in the spring and summer months, but autumn, winter, nothing at all. What else have I found here? Quantum Leap,
Oh yeah,
BBC
mate.
Two,
Oh, it was
one of the
amazing.
greatest theme tunes as well.
Yes, that was the 6 o'clock on.
It was one of
BBC
the
Two.
theme tunes, one of the great shows.
Yeah.
Quantum Leap was amazing.
Yeah, it
Absolutely
was.
agree.
Quantum Leap.
Properly good. Still trying to dig it out now, and I can't work out where it is.
It used to be on like sci-fi and
gotta be
Yeah,
somewhere
it's such a
bizarre,
great
isn't it?
program. You
So
get it on
good.
Sky now and again on one of them, like, sci-fi channels or something like
that
that.
was-
and all other channels available, or what people say when you're promoting.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got to be platform neutral. Platform neutral, yeah. Crystal Maze
Crystal May
first turned up with Richard O'Brien,
O'Brien,
and Mumsy.
yeah. That's a strange sort of go-to. I admire him for that, from writing Rocky Horror Show to having a massive gap.
It's quite a
Then
step, isn't
turning
it?
up in a leopard skin jacket,
Running around
talking
the
about his
castle.
mumsy with a fucking mouth organ. Follow me, follow me.
Whatever you
works,
got to do to pay the
It
bills,
works.
I guess.
Bizarrely
Oh
enough.
no, yeah, no, it's amazing. It's quite a
worked.
program.
And again, so
Yeah.
they've tried bringing it back, and it hasn't quite done it.
doesn't
It's
quite
over
work.
time, isn't it? That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Everything's over time.
The guy is a genius. Mate. Well-ish. Well,
No, to hell with it. Let's.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
going
put
to
him up
allow
there.
it. I'm going to allow it. He's a genius.
he's a
First genius
genius.
person mentioned.
Absolutely. Other geniuses to appear on TV. Art Attack.
Hang on a second,
Art-
because now you're like,
I'm going out.
now
there.
you're either probably going for it, or
There might be a hint
the name genius is now being.
Yeah, that's thrown about.
Yeah,
Neil
might have-
Buchanan.
I might have overreached with that one, if I'm honest.
Yeah, you got to be careful where you
Okay,
go with
let's-
this.
let's,
Now-
yeah.
Now Richard O'Brien is thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you made him feel dirty and cheap.
Yeah,
Sliding
he was
scale.
on a pedestal now he's just
I think
like, hang on a
O'Brien might
second.
just
I'm sharing this with Neil
Outrank
Buchanan.
Buchanan.
Buchanan, yeah, I mean-
yeah, you're absolutely right. How about Phil and Grant first appearing in EastEnders?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, we're gonna let that one slide, are we?
Well, as
That
what?
was-
Geniuses.
I wouldn't go so far as say
Genius.
genius, but the characters
It was
were
a big thing. They proper milked them.
Oh,
They didn't
man
milk
alive.
them. That'd be Grant milk and Mitchell milk.
Just imagine that.
They milk Sharon.
Milking
Milk
Phil and
Sharon.
Grant.
Yeah, they did milk Sharon.
Probably Milk Sharon.
But yeah, old Ross Kemp, and now he's hard hitting documentaries about fish
Who
or
would have
whatever
known?
he does.
Who would have known?
Ross
that
Kemp
that was
on-
where he was going
Ross
to
Kemp
going
on
after
Dangerous
doing
fish.
kung
The
fu
world's
fighting
the world's-
with a
the
tea
world's
towel
most dangerous
wrapped round his
fish.
head.
Yeah,
Genius.
but Phil not so much. He hasn't really dipped his toe into the documentary.
He's
waters, has he?
still working on one.
Is he?
30 years. It's going to be groundbreaking.
love it if you
It's
just-
going to be groundbreaking when
I
it
love he
comes
blew
out.
him out the
Can you
water.
imagine it? It comes out, I don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah,
Just,
go
a look at the diamond mines of who knows where. Other things. The Word. First appeared.
Really?
But at tea time. It was a
Really?
6 o'clock
Oh,
show
really?
when
Wow.
it first
How
came
long
out.
was it? How long was that for?
Not for long. They decided that was,
Yeah, I was going to
Well, they
say.
still
definitely
aren't doing
gonna-
anything to be on TV.
I don't think they could
Yeah.
have been, can they?
Or
Not
like-
at 6 o'clock.
Didn't Courtney Love get a vag out on live TV?
I think you're absolutely right. Maybe that's why they made the move to 10 and then
Yes.
realised it post pub,
There might
youth
be
TV.
that.
Let's have this.
It was great. The
Think
Word.
like-
What a show that was.
Peter Snow was a bit put out of.
Can you? Yeah, because he was in the running to
Channel-
what presents it.
Yeah, exactly.
With his
Terry
bright
Christian
eyes.
and Peter Snow.
Forget Danny Bear.
Yeah,
we don't
exactly.
need her. Yeah, Peter Snow is
Peter
the way.
Snow.
Man, was it Jon Snow anyway? Wasn't it?
Yeah, that Peter Snow though.
We're running with
he
Peter
was his
Snow.
more sort of down with the kids, brother. He did
was.
news and like kicked ass. basically.
Various current affairs and youth programming
Yeah, youth hosteling as well
with Chaz and Dave or Chris Eubank.
with Chris Eubank. Totally. That-
Bruce Forsyth was back on our screens, more for the old.
Oh, the Generation
game.
Yeah,
Wasn't in Waiting for God then, no?
What
He wasn't in Waiting for God. But
what's
probably
on the
should
ball
have
with
been.
Miss Ford, wasn't it? That was the
Turns
line.
out a massive old predator.
Yes. Well, that was his catchphrases. What's on the ball with massive old predator? He gets the crowd to say it back.
That was when the
What am I
cameras
if I'm in the
weren't rolling.
woods after girls? Massive predator.
That was the bit Del used to love saying to.
I was
He
like,
did
yeah.
love that.
I was going, yes.
Cuddly toy, massive old predator.
I was like, someone gets me.
Finally, a voice for my people.
I'll just say, if we do this next time and Del's not here and he's actually in a cell.
Yeah, that is
They're in a cell.
Dell in a cell.
Richard O'Brien's comeback.
I mean, so many other good things on there. Two of the best programs, though. I mean, for me, Round the Twist.
Round the
Oh,
twist, yes.
And
Great
Pingu-
theme tune.
and
That was a
Pingu.
great theme tune.
Pingu, yeah.
Oh, Pingu, isn't it?
I mean, they are two very disparate things, but two.
Can you sing the
phenomenal
Round the
together.
Twist theme tune?
Have you ever felt that? I mean, straight in. It's so
fuck.
good.
Oh, yes, I remember Round the Twist. I
So
love Round the
good.
Twist, but do you know what I thought you meant? Round the Bend.
You mean with the crocodile
It's
and
a
the
program, yeah, with the crocodile presented it, and they used to have like.
Was that Nobby the Sheep as well? Was that Gimme
No,
Five?
that was Gimme Five. Round the Bend was they used to do like piss takes of like He-Man. They called it like Wee Man.
Wee Man.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
instead of Thundercats, they're Thunder Pants.
Yes.
And with Bum Ra, like it's the most juvenile of.
But that still
I
works.
love that. But
It totally works.
yeah, Bum Ra.
I would argue we would laugh at that now.
I'm giggling at it now.
Yeah,
I was trying not
absolutely.
to like
Absolutely.
hold it back.
But yeah, and then that, and was he Swiss or Swedish? The penguin?
No,
I can't
it was
remember.
gibberish. It was just gibberish.
Wow.
Pingu is just
Learned-
gibberish. Yeah,
I've,
that's
I've
what I
lit-
thought.
I've literally been shocked to my very core.
No, I thought it was. Well, I don't know where I'm getting my facts from. I've got nothing to back this up. But
This is a sweeping statement.
yeah, exactly.
If anyone can disprove or prove this theory, we would love to hear from you. They are the major things I've got, apart from I think one
Well,
for you,
that's-
Phil. Twin Peaks,
Yeah, I was going to bring that.
because that was your
Who's gonna
thing,
bring
wasn't it? You were big
Going to
on
bring it to
The whole-
tonight. Yeah,
the whole
I'm
cast.
going to bring it.
going to bring it to life.
Oh, okay.
Twin Peaks.
Never got into it myself, but I know you were.
Oh, it's amazing. Did you
you
not
were
watch
big
it?
on
Did you
it.
never watch
No.
it? Have you never seen it since?
I've never seen it
watched
at all. no.
I recommend Twin Peaks. Even today, it's
today,
so messed up, but it's brilliant.
Oh, okay. No, Twin Peaks.
You never watched it as well?
Never watched that.
It used to scare me, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
What more so than was it
Highway.
Roald Dahl's? What was it? Tales of the Unexpected.
Tales of the Unexpected.
Yeah, no, Twin Peaks, there's a character in it called Bob.
Oh yeah, that's. A
Oh,
scary
that is
name.
scary. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, and he was...
Bad
Bob.
Bob.
No, honestly,
Big Bad Bob.
watch Twin Peaks. It is great program.
Says-
Scary.
Bob.
You frightened me tonight already, Phil. I'm not going to sleep.
This guy. Can
not-
we
yeah.
can we apologise
Bob.
to anyone who may have been
Bob.
scared by Bob?
Bob.
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 Going back down the Rowan Atkinson route there, I see.
Yes, it is a bit, isn't it? Okay. I would. I don't know if anyone's got any other TVs. The TV that I had was TV that was. Don't know. It wasn't launched in 1990, but it was out in 1990. It was on. We had Cheers, which I used to really like.
I think that was the top show in America, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the
Like
top
that,
show. in America. I used to like it anyway, but it was the first one, and I think I started watching with like mum and dad, so it was kind of like that sort of thing. There's a few things I used to get, but I just used to enjoy it. Roseanne was on at the time. That was big.
Yeah.
Like obviously John Goodman launched his career, didn't it? And Roseanne's kind of fucks hers up now, isn't she? Sort of,
Yeah, she's gone a bit.
yeah.
She went a bit
rogue,
political,
didn't
though, didn't she?
Yeah,
She
absolutely.
dropped the old
Never
race,
go
race
political.
call.
Never go political.
No, exactly, mate. Never
That's
go
what we're very much steering away from, I feel.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Fools and Horses were on, obviously.
Yeah.
Murder, She Wrote was on. The Golden Girls was on. remember the Golden
A lot
Girls?
of good Channel 4 theme
Yeah,
tunes
it's pretty
going
much.
on.
It's
Yeah.
pro Channel 4, actually. Anyone from the Golden Girls? Did you have a favourite? Like, favourite Spice
Rose.
Girls? Rose, yeah? Yeah, she was a bit ditzy, wasn't she? She was, Is that why?
And I think, she was, for some reason, I don't know why I did this, but some time ago,
I mean, I'm going to
getting
ask you
worried,
to
man.
really
We
carefully
looked up-
think about what you're going to say now.
we looked up the ages of the Golden Girls, And they were like, honestly, you thought they were in their 70s at the time. They're only in their like 50s.
Young 50s,
and I think Rose is either still alive or she lasted the longest.
Yes.
All of them died relatively young.
Yeah.
And she like survived till she was about 90, or she may even still be alive, I'm not sure.
Even like the Nan, because she was like in Goodfellas, wasn't she?
Stop it, your mum will shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Even better. A more critically acclaimed film than Goodfellas.
But
Stop on your mum.
But yeah,
I know what she puts first on her CV. Yeah.
But yeah, they were all. Golden Girls was a good show, wasn't it? It was good.
All had great theme tunes as well, didn't they?
And the Wonder Years.
The Wonder Years, man alive.
I used to love that. That was, that coincided with coming back from Appleton in a blazer. And obviously the rest of my clothes as well, not just the blazer.
Just the blazer. Yeah. Another tough day at school, love.
Yeah, exactly.
They stole my trousers and shoes again, Mum.
Tough day at Predator School today.
Been over the park again.
Yeah.
Stop to the woods.
Is it just Blazer Day? Yeah, it is. It's a tough. It's a tough day.
Do you remember those? Just Blazer Day.
Just Blazer.
Yeah, there's always the PE teachers that insisted.
I know.
on
Yeah,
that.
that's like, wow, it's kind of strange, sir.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's part of the curriculum. Shut up. Just keep touching your toes.
Shh.
Yeah.
I feel like I've let this run too long. This is scary stuff now.
Every year, over 2 million washing machines are abandoned. They're thrown out or even beaten up too. It doesn't have to be this way. You can sponsor a washing machine today and make sure washing machines like Timmy can live for the rest of his days, not sucking on old men's socks.
Anything more from the world of TV, gents?
Well, we got a couple from America. Seinfeld
Oh, is it?
started in 1990.
Really?
It feels like it was older than that.
I thought that would have been.
Yeah,
It didn't get bigger till later, did it?
I don't know, but it aired
almost
first time.
It almost got took off
1990.
the air, I think, in the first series.
Yeah, so obviously
So
that.
then he was the most paid or well-paid
Eventually,
TV
Yeah,
guy,
so
wasn't
it
he?
turned out
Yeah.
to be massive, didn't
Absolutely
it?
huge,
And
wasn't it?
obviously, inspirational for loads of other later
Yeah.
sitcoms, wasn't it? But so yeah, that was 1990s. Well, I've got Twin Peaks as well. Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And whether this is a whether you call it a movie or TV, was it?
Yeah.
It was a TV movie, wasn't it?
Was it now?
Yeah, it was for TV, but obviously. So
Old,
whether we can as a TV or film, but with Tim
Curry.
Curry.
So he decided to raise his head like Richard O'Brien. It's the Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
I know he didn't raise his head. He was obviously acting, wasn't he? But
Raise his head.
raise his head, as in like to stardom, like Richard
Oh,
O'Brien, Rocky Horror
I thought it
Show.
was like referencing something he did in the film. I was thinking, what did he do? Raise his head.
Probably raised his head a few times.
Yeah.
A shy clown. I was.
Clown with his face always down. He's a really depressed
I
one.
really want to kill you, but I just can't give you eye contact.
You're hello down here.
I've got a very heavy nose, so always pulling my face down.
Oh, well, yes, that is true. But yeah, no, you're very right, mate. That used to scare the shit out of me.
But have you seen it recently?
No, but it's.
Have you rewatched? It's awful.
It's like all the.
So not the remake, but the actual.
No, yeah,
the
but I've seen the
original,
remake as well. But I think I watched the remake, and then it prompted me to go and watch it, and it's so bad.
Yeah, it's all them
terrible.
horror films are dated, aren't they? Like,
terrible film.
Like Freddy Krueger's and that, some of them things, and they used to terrify me to bits, but they're ridiculous. It's just the best bit is in the first one when Johnny Depp gets killed in the bed. He gets pulled into that. It's just so ridiculous. But you see it now, it's like you lose all respect for Johnny Depp's acting. But he is obviously cutting his jib, so to speak.
Well, maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. We can only speculate.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, I think that leads us nicely from the world of TV onto the bigger screen in that case. So, big films of the year.
Voila.
So I've had a quick look through the box office take-ins. Ghost, it would appear, was the top earning film of 1990.
Yeah, big
Bit of,
film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Big Swayze.
It was.
having a lovely time.
Would you let him do the old pottery scene with you, mate?
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a problem with that.
That's quite raunchy, that scene again. I mean, I watch it regularly.
How old are you?
I watch it regularly.
He went with raunchy.
I'm a big Demi Moore fan, so I watch it quite regularly. It does get
not
quite.
Swayze, not.
Oh yeah, that's Swayze. I mean, it's fun. If
Are
I
you
was
torn between the two when they're...
if I was, tempted by that, kind of, I'm
He's
sure he would be.
more of a whoopee kind of guy.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
But yeah, no. Big, massive, wasn't it? Ghost.
Absolutely huge, wasn't it?
Film, wasn't it?
And then I had Pretty Woman in as number 2 in the box
film.
office.
Yeah, I see. It's either that or Home Alone. Now, I think Home Alone would have probably been the biggest, but that come out late.
Obviously, it only comes out at Christmas time, to get to number 3 was huge.
Yeah, that was probably you'd probably have to say that was the biggest film. Wasn't it?
Unquestionably, and still one of the best films.
Home Alone.
Oh, Home Alone.
Just because it was, I think, come out in November, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So to
So
take that amount of money in a month and a bit,
Yeah, that was
it's
a
huge.
big one from the childhood as well.
But that is still one of the great films, and it's nice that my kids now really like it as well.
Yeah,
it's
it's same. Yeah,
properly stood the test of time, hasn't it? Which is great.
Yeah, some
definitely.
don't. Some fall on their face. Like I've seen.
Yeah.
Tried to watch Goonies a couple of times, and
Yeah, absolutely.
one
You
likes
can-
it, the other one's no.
There's some are hit and miss, but that guy getting hit in the face with a paint can.
Yeah, exactly.
genius.
Yeah, yes.
What's
Tom
not to
and Jerry
like?
come to life, isn't it?
It's exactly what it is. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
Always works.
That's a good 3 films, isn't it?
They're not bad, are they?
I have to
They're
say,
pretty powerful.
1990 was.
Yeah.
there's
I've got a whole list
I've
of
seen it.
films.
So TV, we're a bit shaky on.
Yeah.
With the old fart comedy.
Films of
but
1990
films,
was top.
Yeah,
banging.
it was.
Absolutely.
I mean-
Total Recall's up there. Die
that's
Hard
huge,
2.
Die Hard 2. It was a year of it was a year of sequels.
Very much so. Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Man,
Well,
I
Back
think
to the Future, I've
Future
got an
3
interesting
is
fact.
3.
Oh,
Yeah,
go
Back
on.
to the Future 3 was in 90.
Yeah.
I didn't realise, for some reason, I thought Back to the Future 2 was a couple of years, like 2 or 3 years before, but it was only 6 months before.
Oh really? Huh?
Came out in November 89, and then Back to the Future 3 came out in July 90. They'd literally...
They properly rushed that
Yeah,
third record through, didn't they?
Because I looked at because Michael J. Fox was on Family Ties, and it was just coming to an end. They took advantage of his break, so they filmed them. They were editing Back to the Future 2 and
Back to
filming
back
3. So they pretty much.
Wow.
It's a bit like Lord of the Rings, like that kind of
Yeah,
thing they
that's
do now,
awesome.
but way back then. So yeah, I didn't realise they were so close together.
Wowzers.
But I do seem to remember going to see Back to the Future 2 at the cinema. And then at the end, it showed a trailer for Back to the Future 3.
Oh, okay.
And I remember
Almost
just thinking
unheard
then,
of,
like,
yeah,
that's
absolutely.
weird. They could like showing a...
How have they done this?
Yeah, so it kind
voodoo
of makes
magic.
sense.
Maybe they've used the DeLorean to go back in time, create the film. Mind blown.
Yeah.
That's an amazing film.
Yeah, so to be fair, wasn't that really interesting facts about Back to the
I
Future?
think that's fact of the day thus far. Let's give you that. Where are we? Other sequels. There was Three Men and a Little Lady.
Yeah.
Not quite as popular, granted, but
I don't
Godfather 3 was
What's
in
the
there.
first one? That
Three Men and a Baby was.
It's watchable.
It was
isn't
watchable, but it's kind of groundbreaking
Yeah.
for
Quite
the
big though, wasn't it? Yeah.
the baby
At the
talking
time, they were the
and
big
stuff.
hits.
It's like,
When
yeah,
Selick was the old police academy Mahoney dude. What's he called?
Selleck.
Steve
You had
Guttenberg.
Ted Danson and
Guttenberg,
Yeah, they were the main players. Weren't
They were big. They were powerful in their comedy
Yeah,
world.
massively.
Absolutely. Rocky Five
Rocky
was out that
V.
year.
Yeah, that was. I remember.
To this day,
I
only
love
Rocky I've seen.
I love Rocky.
Is there any one you've seen? The only... Oh my God. No wonder you haven't gone back to any more if you started with that one. It's awful.
Yes, but
Hang on.
They've got
Rocky
some of
4.
them-
I've seen Rocky 4, not 5.
Oh, right,
The
no.
one
If
with
you've
the
seen
big-
Rocky 4, you
the
should
big
have gone
tall
and watched...
blonde fella.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ivan Drago.
But
Drago,
then you should have gone on
that's
to
it.
watch the rest, because Rocky 4's like the best.
I feel like once you've hit that zenith, why
Yeah.
would you go any lower?
To be fair,
I would have felt dirty going in.
I got my kids
any worse
watching
than that.
Rocky films, and I started them Rocky 4. You have to, because it's just
action,
it's a
yes,
montage.
Why go
It's an hour and a half montage with music, a great soundtrack.
That's the first one I watched as a kid.
Yeah.
Rocky 4. Remember?
No one watching films in order these days.
No, it's just how it
What kind of
happened.
craziness was happening
I
back
would-
in the 90s?
I watched it around Gavs. I remember that like clearly. But Rocky 5 was a disappointment because of the 4, and then but it was good. It was good, and it wasn't. But you see it now.
And you had the MC Hammer soundtrack, didn't you?
Yeah,
I remember I had that.
go
I
for it.
got that on vinyl. Yeah.
yeah, that, and what's the others? There's a couple of other songs that was.
Don't know. I just remember Go For It.
Go
yeah.
for it. You got.
He did a couple. He did 2 or 3 songs on that MC Hammer.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it
it was.
was
I
awful.
thought Bobby Brown did a couple on there as well.
Yeah, possibly.
You got also you got some great names from there. You've got George Washington Duke. He's pretty much the Don King of the film. He's basically modelled on Don King. You've got Tommy the Machine Gun, obviously, he's the baddie, and Union Kane as well. You just got some great names. It's the same with like Total Recall. You just had great names. It's like Cahagan for a bad guy.
Cahagan's a great name, isn't it?
But Total Recall was huge as well. I mean,
Absolutely.
the special effects of that film.
Yeah, that was
Do you remember they were like? I remember being in school and someone had it on pirate.
Pirate video.
Yeah, and there was a pirate video of it going round, so everyone was like borrowing it, and it was everyone was like,
You got a pirate.
everyone was going mad about the special effects, especially with like the head. Do you remember the head comes
Yeah,
off?
that was good for the movie.
It was crazy. It was
And
massive.
the girl with like, was it 3 tits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I had 3 hands. Or
You're
something
doing
like
just fine with 2, honey.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
ping pong ball out the nose. I mean, it had everything.
Yes,
What more do
it
you need
was.
in a film?
yeah, it was massive, wasn't it?
Old,
But- Yeah.
Any other big titles jump out at
There's
you?
loads.
Good-
I've got Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Goodfellas. Obviously acclaimed, massive. Dancing with Wolves.
yeah, that was good.
Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, Edward Scissorhands.
Misery.
Oh my
I
word!
mean, it's
Yeah,
massive.
The
Misery.
list
Great.
goes on and on.
It's-
doesn't
I
it?
mean, I haven't looked at every year of the 90s, but I've
Do you
done a
have a
couple.
favourite out of
And
all of
this
them?
is
You're gonna
like, at
struggle,
the
aren't
moment,
you?
this one is
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
What's your favourite out of all of them? Do you have a favourite out of the ones?
I'll probably come back to them in a minute because I've still got a long list.
There's still
Oh,
so
sorry.
many
Hunt
films.
for Red October, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was they
massive.
were huge.
I had that on a
yeah,
pirate.
absolutely.
I remember that.
They were huge
that
in the
on-
1990s.
That training that
I
happened.
mean, I've just written some other one. Driving Miss Daisy. Well, not great, but it was a big film, wasn't it? Driving
Yeah,
Miss Daisy.
yeah,
Do you remember that
absolutely.
being filmed? Flatliners,
Yes.
Days of
Kiefer
Thunder.
Sutherland.
Get out of town.
Yeah, is that-
Thunder,
yeah.
Miller's Crossing.
Yeah, Miller's Crossing.
Yeah.
That's a good film actually.
Yeah, now that is that is my favourite film. I love that film. It's probably my favourite Coen Brothers film. Arachnophobia, Predator 2, Gremlins 2, RoboCop 2,
Or is it the,
All the twos.
Yeah.
Dark
the twos.
Man, and Born on the 4th of July. I mean,
I bought on the 4th.
and I haven't even mentioned Steven Seagal in any of them, and he had a whole load of things.
He must have had about 25 or 26 now. He was prolific, wasn't he?
Hard to Kill, whatever it was.
Have we missed any, Dale?
No, we haven't, no, mate. Yeah,
well,
just.
I would argue that we may have done.
the Edward Scissorhands sequel.
I have a couple of others that I think you may have missed.
Sam,
So I don't want to.
Go on.
I don't want to pour scorn on your
No,
research.
go.
But may not be the biggest money takers, but Mermaids was out there. I mean,
Yeah.
anything with a Hoskins,
Yeah.
it's got to be out there.
Share in the soundtrack.
I saw that at cinema actually, man.
Nuns on the Run.
Was it really?
Now,
Actually, do you know what?
Coltrane.
Robbie Coltrane, Eric Idle. Yeah, The Craze
Was it
Oh,
really?
with the Kemp
with the
brothers.
Kemps. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. The Witches.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob Dole's.
Yeah, with Angelica Houston. It's
yeah,
the chief witch, and then Memphis Belle.
Memphis Belle was
Belle.
I remember
Oh.
seeing that at the cinema, and just
Yeah.
that was
That was good,
a heartstring tugger. That one.
Yeah,
that was.
when he,
They go, but they might not
was
come
it,
back.
doesn't Harry
man.
Connick Jr. in that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he might have sung the lead song to that as well. I think he was
Oh, Memphis Belle.
Memphis Belle. We're all on the Memphis Belle. You remember that one? But yeah, they are Kindergarten Cop.
Oh,
Was that
yes.
1990?
Can you believe we forgot
Yeah.
Kindergarten
Was that
Cop?
really?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Christ,
man.
that was crazy.
That's when Schwarzenegger's lines were amazing. They were just
He had so few words again, but man.
He does the drug bust at the beginning, and they go to him. Who are you? Who are you?
I'm the party pooper.
It's just like, oh yes.
There's a
It's
line and a
shit,
half,
It's
isn't there?
corny, but it's amazing at the same time.
And then the final one I've got is House Party, which wasn't obviously for
Oh,
everyone,
yeah.
but that
Kid
was
and
Kid and Play. Yeah,
What
absolutely
happens to
immense.
Kid and Play then?
They just kept on
Is
playing.
they like Cheech and Chong, or are they just that sort of Harold and Kumar type duo that
Harold and Maude.
makes a couple of films and just
Yeah, quite possibly. I think they focused on their music. Who knows? Who knows?
Did anyone used to have a video man?
In what sense? What, someone to put the videos on for you?
No, so.
What kind of rich guy are
So
you?
when, so when I was looking at this, and particularly coming up against Steven Seagal
I
stuff,
know what you mean.
we used to have a man come around the house, let's say Thursday.
Did you have to call him your uncle, Phil?
It's a
He
stranger.
used to come around on let's say a Thursday,
To Bruce Forsyth.
and he would have like like pasting tables where they fold up.
Oh,
Like they have like a wooden
wallpaper table.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
wallpaper table, and then they open it up. He'd come into your front room, And it was like an event at the time. You like
It's wallpaper page.
So what you get?
your
all the
parents would call you down. Oh, look, video man's here. She'd run downstairs.
Your Uncle Steve's
I'm
here.
running down the stairs like there's a boy band.
Have you brought me a toy, Uncle Steve?
Michael?
No, but it was exciting, and he would open up this like pasting table thing, and there would just be like videos. Did you never get this?
I'll level with it. You lived in very different circumstances.
But it was
Dave.
great, and so you just look through all these videos, and it'd be full of like Van Damme, Seagal, Stallone, Schwarzenegger, all these crappy '80s, and you get the odd like Fatal Attraction, you know, the one the parents go, yeah, we'll have a little look at that. But basically you got them, you'd rent how many you wanted. I can't remember how much it was, and you'd keep it for a week until he came back next time, and you give him one back, and then you get another one.
Suck him off.
And this was a legitimate business, as opposed to
just a
like.
video man.
We had a
Honestly,
video guy. I mean, he used to get a wallpaper fucking table out.
I don't know if it's
Just
what it
used
was,
to turn
but
up with a suitcase to go join some
yeah, but
videos.
it was like one of them wooden, so you know,
One
it just
here.
fold out. It was just
Shall I
like
pop up the wallpaper as well?
Might well be. It's like proper singing and dancing. This video, guy.
Is he just a painter and decorator who's chancing his arm?
it was the highlight of the week. I must admit, I used to love it.
And you said you want to ban the internet?
Yeah.
It's the fucking highlight of the week.
Well, exactly.
Just think where we could be.
Let's get rid of the internet and bring back video men. That's what I say.
Bring back wallpaper tables.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
We had
that is-
one bath a week, and we look forward to Video Man coming round.
we went to bed at 7, got up at 9, went down the mill.
We used to piss on each other to keep ourselves warm. Just till Video Man come round.
Honestly, if anyone,
Once a week.
let's
videos of these lot
let's get
watching.
people to write in if you've got a video man come around your house. I'd be intrigued to know.
What still?
And do any of your kids look like the video man?
Yeah, do I look like? It's like, why is this video man still coming around the house? There's fucking internet. You can stream them. There's Netflix.
Yeah.
What? This is weird, mum. It's good. I don't get
You've
it.
got Amazon Prime. Why is he coming round still?
Shut up at 2's a video.
Quiet and eat your grapes. Who knows?
My video man.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
I mean, on that revelation, Phil, I feel we should possibly move on.
Move
from-
on.
from
Oh, did
film
you not
to
have
TV.
Edward Pizza Cutter Knob?
Oh, was this the sequel?
The sequel, yeah.
Edward Peter Cutting Knob. No.
No. Okay.
Pizza cutter knob.
Yeah.
I did not have that one, but then I didn't have a video man, so
No, exactly.
No, that would have been in his
It would
collection.
have gone straight to video. that one, yeah.
guaranteed.
Straight to video.
That's,
yeah.
that's a
That was
Woolworths 99p bin, was
Kind
it?
of, yeah.
That one.
It wasn't even Johnny Depp. It was Kevin Keegan. I think.
set platter.
Yeah. Set,
Who knows?
set, set platter sounds like a great thing you get in a restaurant,
Sounds like something you'd get from
like a carver's
sandwich shop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll have the set platter.
I'd have the set platter.
It's not a pret a manger thing.
Yeah. Oh, wee.
Absolute nonsense yet again. Well, gentlemen, so from the big screen, how about we turn our attention to the audible stuff of music?
Music. Is I don't know what we got here. I mean, World in Motion. That was good at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That had
absolutely.
to be-
And again,
What
still
was you
still
dancing
played
to
now.
at the school disco, Phil?
Oh, well, you had like it would have been a slow dance, wouldn't it? It's Unchained Melody.
Yeah,
know?
I mean that was almost every year,
Was
wasn't
it
it?
the
There was-
original from Ghost? Or we
Yeah, yeah, 'cause
Robson and Jerome.
No,
Later.
because obviously Ghost obviously was the film, wasn't it?
always
So
a tie-in.
that
to a
came
film,
out again, didn't it?
absolutely.
And just
It did.
Bit of Nothing Compares to You, Sinead O'Connor.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was massive, wasn't it?
That was her top album, but I don't remember any other singles. That was right
yeah.
up there, I think.
Yeah, I mean she's very much for me a one-hit.
And you got
wonder,
Elton
but
John.
I'm sure
That
she
was
has
it's
a
a
back
Prince
catalogue.
cover from
but-
Prince as well. Isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Elton
but-
John, Sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
Man, there was some weaker
I
stuff
think-
in 1990.
I've got a question
I do
for
like
you on
Elton
that,
John,
though.
but-
Question for you, trivia.
Oh,
And Elton John, Sacrifice.
Okay.
What
Can
had he
anyone-
sacrificed?
Can anyone tell me what a cocoa heart is?
Cocoa Hearts.
Was he not Cold Heart?
That's cocoa?
Yeah,
Have I been singing the wrong words for?
Are you sure? Have you done research on it? Cocoa Heart. So just before bed.
It sounds a lot like a wrestler.
Go.
Coco Hearts coming in with the Ultimate Warrior.
I'll tell you what, it's only because I heard it on the radio when I was coming up here tonight, and I thought you said cocoa. I was like, what the fuck is a cocoa heart? Is it cold heart?
Well, you've made me question my thought, but I'm fairly sure it's Cold Hearts.
Cold Heart.
That makes more
Hard
sense.
done by you.
Sacrifice, kind of cold.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Because I was thinking, what the fuck is a cocoa heart?
31 years that's been going around in his head, and we finally solved the problem.
Oh, yeah, forget
Cocoa
that.
was probably quite relevant at the time. More people were drinking it.
Well, there was no internet.
Well, that was what I was
there?
thinking.
Yeah,
What the
no,
fuck?
Straight to bed at 10 o'clock.
Video guys round.
The video man's
Get the
round.
cocoa.
Up in your room, Phil.
Get the cocoa out.
Cocoa heart on.
It's got a cocoa. Oh, maybe you're singing about the video guy.
Yeah.
It's a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, now we've cleared that up. I feel like we've achieved something today, if nothing else.
That's fine.
Always a little bit of room for Madonna. A little bit of room for Madonna.
Ice Ice
in your life.
Baby. I don't know what that was
Did you
meant
say
to be.
eyes on?
Yeah.
Eyes, baby.
Does anyone know what Eyes Eyes Baby means? Killer?
Oh, the
Adamski.
Adamski tune, yeah. Absolutely.
That was with what's his name, wasn't it?
That was Seal, the
Seal,
vocalist, yeah.
And Show Me Heaven.
Oh, Mariah McKee, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Now that was a school
What is that
disco
from?
classic.
Quick to you, woman.
Show Me Heaven.
that-
No, Show Me Heaven. That's a song. Days of Thunder,
Days
wasn't
of
it?
Thunder.
Oh, okay.
Hanging Tough by New Kids on the Block
Yeah.
is the first
Well,
number one
that's-
of the decade.
Was it really?
Yeah, I mean that's
Were they-
a statement of intent from 1990, isn't it?
But they
This is how
before-
bad it's going to be.
That was
Get on
like
board.
the revamp of the boy band, wasn't it? Because I suppose you have Osmonds and
Yeah.
like Jackson 5. Is that classed as a boy band?
Yeah, I think we
I
can.
don't know if-
Or
yeah.
5? Yeah, they were a boy band.
No, Jackson 5.
Oh, right. I thought you
Yeah,
meant
like the
5.
Osmonds were probably like the original ones, weren't they? Or
Yeah.
or even you probably go back further than that.
More than likely, but I couldn't.
But yeah, can't be
couldn't
asked.
be bothered, yeah. But yeah, it was all kind of individual artists, wasn't it? So a lot of Madonna
They
and all that
come
kind of thing. But
We had Vogue by Madonna as well.
Vogue was in there,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Do you know who directed Vogue? The video?
Oh, Peter Schmeichel.
No, it wasn't. It was closer.
Was it not Peter Schmeichel? it would be his son then, Casper.
Casper, yeah.
No.
There you go,
Who directed it?
right. David Fincher.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, for Seven and Fight Club fame, actually.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose you've got to cut your teeth somewhere, haven't you?
Exactly, yeah.
Wowzers. A lot of other terrible artists back in 1990. Bit of Kylie. There's always room for Kylie.
Yeah.
On a
Kylie,
list
what sort of songs was she?
She was hitting Tears on My Pillow.
Tears
was
of My Blood,
the big one.
That was before she was about to get ruined.
Better
by
the Devil You
Hutchinson,
Know,
wasn't
I
it?
imagine.
Yeah, I
Something
think
of
that's
that ilk.
the, like coming into the Hutchinson era, and
Yeah. When she started to work out,
Got
she
his
was.
dirty paws on her.
Yeah, absolutely. Beats International, I've got down.
That'd be good to you. That,
Yeah.
I've got that. That's good, man.
Great little tune.
Awesome, yeah.
Snap and the Power.
Yeah.
So in amongst the dross, there was a couple of little
Mate,
goodies.
that later on, that will be relevant to something I'm going to say.
Perfect. We will remember that.
You got Love Shack, wasn't it? B-52s as well, I think it was 1990.
Was it really? See,
Yeah,
I didn't come
Grooves
up
in the Heart.
Yeah, a bit of delight.
that's
Lovely stuff.
Delight.
And probably the most significant one and the greatest one introduced us to the world of Michael Bolton.
Oh,
Was it Soul Provider? Was it?
Now, how am I supposed? Well, that might have been the same year,
that's
but
the
how am I
album.
supposed
No,
to?
that's my favourite.
Is it?
How am I supposed to live without
no,
you?
it's not.
And you can't touch this MC Hammer.
oh,
Yeah,
God, everyone's
Yeah,
favourite.
that must have been the biggest hit of
That's
the
on
year,
my
surely.
album. I managed to get 2 albums, and that's one.
Did you?
Yeah.
What, and Michael Bolton?
Michael Bolton.
I mean, that-
could've gone
I
with
mean,
Bolton. No, there's
That's a
another-
snapshot of what I just said when I said it was a terrible year for albums, that you picked them two as your top.
I've got 3, but one of them I haven't really got a clue about. I know more about them now, but as in then it was just so I had. Oh, you still got songs to realize?
No, go on. We can keep coming back. That's
It
fine.
was the Lars, the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Lars, and it's that's probably like as in respectively music. That's probably the one I like the most. But even then, I think it's a bit of an overrated album. There's apart from there,
the
she
big
goes,
one.
There
Absolutely.
she goes, and there's about 4. It's a decent enough album, but as in it's always up there with the top. Top albums.
Yes, it's well respected.
I don't
isn't
know
it?
if it is, but it's obviously an opinion. But Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him for me at the
What
time. I was all over that Big Trouser wanker. He was, like Big Trousers must be big balls for me. I mean,
we can only
sticking the leather
assume.
out. Yeah,
Plenty of room for dangle.
mate. The lyrics that he had, the lyrics that he had,
The
song-
tunes. Pray. Wasn't it?
Pray, Here Comes the Hammer, Yo Sweetness, as we've mentioned about that, didn't we? Yo Sweetness, when we spoke yesterday, is my weakness. And,
It really is.
And you mentioned, Jimmy, didn't you, that he ripped that off of Michelle Gale.
Michelle Gale, yeah, from EastEnders fame.
Yeah, the Sweetness song.
Yeah, I remember that.
So what we were saying is we reckon that.
Did he rip it off her though? Because I saw Michelle Gauss was later in.
Yeah, but what we're saying is
we think she had the idea for it, and he's somehow.
We actually think he is Michelle Gauss.
And what, in EastEnders?
Yeah, he appeared in
MC Hammer
EastEnders.
was in EastEnders.
He was Hattie Tavernier for a year and a half in EastEnders.
It's not a solid
They obviously
theory,
couldn't put MC Hammer down in the credits.
We'll get the rest of the evidence and we'll back it up.
Yeah. It's just a theory at the moment, but we're working on it.
Yeah, and he have you seen her? He did a cover of Stevie Wonder's, and obviously
seen her. Yeah, I do remember that.
Far better than Stevie Wonder.
Who was Stevie Wonder?
Well, I suppose the difference is MC Hammer had actually seen her.
Yeah, exactly.
That is,
he's actually he's got more reason to sing that.
Yeah. But do you remember the movie, the theme tune of the movie that he did? It's a bit later, but he did the theme tune of a movie.
Who, MC Hammer?
MC Hammer.
Well, not Rocky V.
Not Rocky V. It was the main song of the film. I'll give you a clue if we want to speed it up so it's not dead air.
Yeah, go on.
It's like a spooky type film.
Casper.
It's a family.
Casper.
The Addams Family.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Addams Family Values.
Yeah. Well, the second one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Wow.
And then he pretty much dropped off.
And then just immediately,
the face of the earth.
he died a death.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he was Scottish as well.
He was. Scottish, you're right. MC.
McHammer.
MC Hammer.
McHammer.
Do you know, that passed me by. And I feel terrible for it not registering. That's awful.
See him down at Celtic sometimes.
Can you just imagine him just haggissing up?
Yeah,
tossing
that'd be completely different, wouldn't it?
That'd be
can't touch this.
You really can't touch
fucking
this.
head spots on you. You can't touch.
You can't touch this.
Where was he
I'm glad
from?
you did the accent before me.
Scotland via just outside of Kingston somewhere.
So it's the same accent as sung Go Heart, I think.
Sounds a lot like your elephant.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got some other absolute bangers in the list. Scorpion, Wind of Change.
Scorpion
was out in 1990.
I don't think I'll have to look that up. I don't think
The Wind of Change. Oh, absolute classic for you. We'll have to create a Spotify list or something for each year. Beverly Craven, Promise Me.
Oh yeah, that's
Wilson Phillips, Hold On for One More Day.
The famous solicitors.
Yep. Extreme, More Than Words.
Was that 1990?
Yes. That was 1990, yeah. I've got the Soup Dragons with I'm Free.
Yeah, I remember that one, yeah.
Suicide Blonde.
Suicide Blonde, yeah, absolutely. Go West.
Go West. Oh, the King of Wishful Thinking.
Yes, absolutely.
I've got Go West.
You got Roxette as well, haven't you?
Go Wes.
You got Roxette as well, because you've got old Pretty Woman, wasn't it? It Must Have Been Love.
Must Have Been Love, absolutely, yeah.
Maxi Priest, Close to You.
Yeah, I was a fan of the genre, absolutely. The charts were dominated by just the four albums. There's Phil Collins, but seriously, was number one in the UK album chart for 15 weeks.
Wow.
Really?
So a third of the year.
Yeah, what songs did he have on that?
I mean, I wish I knew. I am not a Phil Collins fan, but
that would be some sort of.
It was. I think we can all agree it was terrible.
It was an absolute.
It was a bad year for music, wasn't it?
And then it was Madonna.
As good as the films were,
Elton John.
Music was awful.
And it's Pavarotti and the Three Tenors.
Yeah,
because obviously the
what 30 quid?
Three Tenors. I got that one. Nothing gets past me twice. But yeah, that was it. Those four make up 40 of the 52 weeks at number one.
Really?
I mean, that's stinking, isn't it, as music goes?
Yeah, I was really scraping about it. I was looking at, there's Ride, I think it's Nowhere or No Way Out. I think I got bored halfway through. But I didn't used to mind Ride. They were like around the same sort of time as Charlotte, and Charlotte had a fairly decent album. They had like the only one I know. I think Happy Mondays had Step On out. They released that. Again, I think Stone Roses would have had a few songs out because of the previous year, the '89. I was gutted that wasn't in there because that's one of my favourite albums of all time. Their debut.
But that's coming back to, isn't it? So I think we can all agree that we didn't particularly get into music much before.
No.
2-3 years
so
down the line. So 12-year-old me
yeah.
wasn't really giving a monkey's.
No,
Itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini was probably
I think I had Kylie's
right up there and stuff.
I
Yeah,
was rocking it. So
but recording it from the radio, trying to eliminate Bruno Brooks, chatting away, that kind of nonsense, wasn't it? That was music in my world. Not really the be all and end all at that point.
on DJs. Yeah, there was all that. Mark Goodyear was the other one.
Kid Jensen.
Kid Jensen, that's it.
Jackie Brambles stepping into the hot seat for a bit. Yeah, music was not a happy stomping ground at that point, was it? Let's be honest.
Really.
No.
Whereas we sort of mentioned it, but the three tenors obviously tying into the World Cup, which was probably the biggest sporting event back in 1990.
It was.
And something that we can definitely get involved with.
Hello there! Have you ever been interested in buying a Brummie? At rental prices starting from no less than £200 a week, you can take home a Brummie today at bagabrummy.com. Y'all been bad to miss out.
So I don't know about you, gents, but probably the biggest event of 1990. We've mentioned the news, we've mentioned the Hubble telescope, we've mentioned the invention of the World Wide Web, but as a 12-year-old, little Jimmy Hegwine was obsessed with nothing but Italian 1990, the World Cup to end all World Cups. I don't know about you, but it was my first real tournament. One that kind of got the juices flowing. What are our memories, Richie? What did it mean to you?
My memories are, it was my first, I think it's my first ever sort of tournament and first ever time I really got into watching live games. Whereas before it was hard to watch and whatever. But I remember that. I remember getting there, watching the game and then either trying to go over the park to recreate it, going in the back garden. And then just the highs and lows of England. I just remember England being absolute tosh to begin with, and it being a real stalemate. And I think before Steve McMahon got injured, it was they weren't playing Gaza. And then I think we played Holland, and he got a full game. It started to become interesting, and there was always that element to it, and it just kind of sort of came to life. I remember us getting like lucky against Belgium. I watch it back, and the amount of times they hit the post.
Oh, it's insane,
and stuff like that.
And
I mean, we always cry about how unlucky we've been in games, but wow, that could have been a totally different story.
Last minute of injury or extra time, wasn't it?
Yeah, big time. But I remember
Platts volley.
But I remember other stuff, not just England. I remember things like the Cameroon, Roger Miller with his goal scoring with the little celebration, but the corner flag.
I mean, just to go back to the very first game of that whole tournament.
That's what set it off.
Insane.
Yeah,
that's what set it off for me.
Cameroon, Argentina.
That's what I remember. Mainly is the first game.
It was just mental, wasn't it?
Oman Beak or whatever. Yeah, it was a really shit goal as well. It went through the keeper's hands.
Yeah, the fact that one Cameroon win, but then just the tackles and the
there's that sequence where the Argentinian guy, I can't remember his name, is going through. Yeah, and literally three Cameroon players take him out, and he's stumbling as he's going. So the first one tackles, he stumbles. Next one knocks, he stumbles, and the third one just comes in and wipes him out. And he just goes.
Then his boot come off as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There was two. They were down to 9 minutes, weren't they, Cameroon?
Yeah, they were.
They got two sent off. Yeah, I mean,
there was 16 sendings off in that entire tournament, which is the most. It's still a record to this day. And there's two of them in the very first game.
But that game did, for me, I'm the same as what Del said. It was the first tournament that I remember.
Yeah.
Really, I remember kind of 86, the Hand of God. That's about it. What I remember of it. 88 Euros. I remember bits of it, but we was rubbish in it, so I don't really. I think
that was over before it was done.
Yeah,
it was all Van Basten.
That was all just Holland, wasn't it? Yeah.
It always helps when England do well, doesn't it? You always enjoy it more. 100%. I mean, you look back at it now. I'd probably say 1990 was one of my favourites. But oddly enough, it's got the least goals of any World Cup average goals.
The tournament itself was diabolically dull because everyone was playing for penalties. There was still the back pass was happening.
Yeah.
So if you watch,
that's why they've changed all the rules at that point, didn't they?
Nostalgia, I think, plays a big part in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a good World Cup.
Very much rose-tinted glasses.
But that first game was amazing.
But it wasn't a great game, was it?
No, but
it was just enthralled.
It was one having Cameroon like a African country first,
You couldn't look away.
The way they build
what might happen.
Yeah, but no, exactly. But the way they build it was almost like a conference team playing a Premier League team, and that's what it's almost like. It's like an FA Cup shock, wasn't it, at the time?
Yeah. And you had quite a few round, and you had obviously Wimbledon beating Liverpool. Yeah, it was only like a little bit before that, wasn't it? Summer before.
You did get it, but it wasn't as common as in later years.
Nah, but yeah.
But I remember, just from that time, it was. It was a great it was a great thing. I remember hating Maradona, and I don't know why I hated him. It was just because of what was put into my head, just from like the '86 World Cup. And I actually, I think he's an amazing player and was a great player. But for some reason, in that World Cup, I absolutely hated him.
Again, at 12, because you're a 12-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. You only know what you're being told, or family, or friends, or
products
people.
Of your
dads are telling you, and exactly, product of your environment. And it was just that, and it was just so great when they actually lost. But that was great. I loved the fact of Schillaci with his goals. I love the Italians in that World Cup as well. The way they played Baggio. I'm trying to think Vialli as well. Albertini, Walter Zenga in goal. They had loads of different players. I loved Republic of Ireland's run in that as well. That was good. Yeah. Even though they had like Cockneys like Townsend and Cascarino in, I don't think Cascarino had an Irish drop of blood in him.
He admitted that, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean that was crazy. But the other thing I love was he's one of my favourite goalkeepers just for the fact of he's just a loon, and that was the Colombian goalkeeper René Higuita.
Oh, René Higuita.
He used to come out on top of the halfway line and like Cruyff turn.
Absolutely.
Then he got tackled by Roger Miller.
Yeah. It was just.
Was Carlos Valderrama in that one?
It was.
Great hair. Didn't he?
There was a lot of hair back in the 1990 World Cup, wasn't there?
Yeah, the Colombian team always had. There was always like things bubbling above that thing because of the whole Escobar thing.
Yeah, of course.
Because later on, obviously, in the following World Cup,
USA was a bit of
yeah. But even then, they had like loads of shit.
But they were like outsiders, dark horses to win the '94 one, weren't they? They were a good team going into it, and obviously then they got knocked out. All that happened after.
Oh yeah, definite. But yeah, so I don't. Obviously, the '94 one was horrible because we weren't in it, but. Yeah, that was another thing. But then that was a thing because it was Taylor's it was Robson's last year, wasn't it? He decided to resign. No, he got told, didn't he? Oh no, he signed for PSG or PSV.
PSV, wasn't it?
PSV Eindhoven. And then old lovely Graham Taylor come in, didn't he? So there's a shift. But not digressing, that World Cup, it was great. Even
fourth,
the games.
Upset with fourth finishing in the end. It was a bit of a. We came so far, didn't we? And then just right at the last.
Yeah, I think Steve Ball played. I think Chris Woods was in goal. It wasn't really taken seriously, and Italy beat us, didn't they? I think Schillaci scored again. Yeah. Not really. I think it's a bit of a. Do you really care about the third and fourth?
At that point, it was the Gazetteers and Lineker.
Exactly. That was all.
You have a word with him.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Lineker obviously shit himself on the pitch.
Amazing.
Was that against Ireland? Was it?
That was a Germany game, wasn't it?
Was it Germany game? Oh, okay.
I mean, we didn't realise it back then, but it was like, oh my days, yeah.
Was it a Germany game or the Cameroon game? It was one of them two, wasn't it?
Oh, okay. Maybe it wasn't.
I think it was the Cameroon game, actually.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so you had that. You had the whole soundtrack of Nessun Dorma.
Yeah, I think that made it as well, though.
That
was a great
bellowing out.
Again, it was an event, wasn't it? The telly come on.
Yes.
You hear that, and you're like, yes,
it set it up,
football,
didn't it? It set up for
World in Motion with the John Barnes rap.
Yeah.
I don't think World in Motion had a bigger impact to that World Cup. It's more like a grower, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a cult classic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think, that was great. I loved the game where Germany played Holland and just like the ridiculous, like was it Rudi Voller? And
Rijkaard going at each other, spitting at each other.
Yeah, that was
ghastly, wasn't it?
Intense. I never realised how like the rivalry between Holland and Germany. I never realised how much like they hated.
They were still West Germany then as well, weren't they?
It was.
They were indeed. Yeah, that was the last one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They ended up winning it.
Yeah.
Beating Argentina in the final, didn't they?
Yeah, which I was glad because Argentina.
So Argentina came third in their group, though. They would have qualified as the third best team. Qualified.
Yeah, they scraped through.
They lost to Cameroon and they lost another game in their group. Obviously won one. Yeah. It was 2 points as well. That was the last 2 points system of that World Cup.
Again, and Italy really should have got to the final. They were just unlucky again, and they lost some penalties, didn't they?
Yeah, lots of teams would go through that knockout phase of just playing for penalties, wouldn't they, and taking their chances. It was really, really boring. Like you said, it was the lowest goal count ever of a World Cup as well. So,
but we still see it as one of the best. It's bizarre
because of that. That run to the semis.
Nostalgia, but the football was really sort of. It wasn't apart from Gaza and a few other players, you don't really remember the flair too much, do you?
No.
There wasn't a mass amount in the team, was there? Let's be
really,
honest.
no.
It was, just
It was like...
Do you know, we actually never...
workmanlike.
Do you know we was
formulaic
actually close
stuff.
to not actually making that World Cup? That because of like hooliganism in England at the time.
Or we threatened to not.
Yeah,
not go through.
So papers released in 2012 that released the government considered withdrawing from the 9 World Cup amid fears the tournament would provide a natural focus for hooliganism.
So we, the British government,
nearly
thought about pulling the team out.
Apparently so.
Wow.
And,
Whereas Mexico didn't make it either for that reason, did they? They were
I don't
they were
know.
banned
Is that what it
from.
was?
Really? Mexico?
They were banned from attending the tournament as well for some reason.
All
or
right.
other.
But yeah, so.
I think I know
But
the-
in another way, that changed English football for the better.
Yeah.
So
that's very true.
it's probably in hindsight, it's good that we did go for it.
Yeah, necessary. And yet here we are, 31 years later, still moaning about football fans and the moronic nature of politics and lunacy. But such is life, I guess. Because we didn't kill Tim Berners-Lee, did we?
But then,
That's the problem.
Or Joey Essex.
Or Joey Essex. We've got to blame one of the two. So there's got to be a scapegoat. That's what we're saying. And it's probably Joey Essex.
That is one of the downsides with the internet. Is every football fan and every person has an opinion.
Everyone's got a voice. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
They can attack you, can't they, or whatever? So it's And they hide it, after the game. They didn't hold themselves in great stead.
Very true. Very true.
They came back heroes, though, England.
Yeah,
The heroes welcome, didn't they, when they came back?
Yeah, definitely. Gaza wore a fake.
Fake pair of man boobs.
Became mad after that, didn't he?
Yeah, why not? If in doubt, strap them on.
Yeah, that was a great start. It started from there on. Then a couple.
Is that when
of
football
years-
became?
It did, and then a couple of years afterwards, it began to get better. And then obviously when the Premier League started,
Rebranded.
so again
everything,
you
didn't it?
can argue with the Premier League, but I think it has.
Has it been good? It's There's a definite uptick in talent and
I think so. Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. So obviously Liverpool won the first division as it was back then, again.
Yeah.
Was that one of their final few? Must have been.
Yeah, it was
wasn't
their
it?
final one. Yeah,
Yeah, because Leeds won 91, did they? Or did they win
No,
92?
No,
Arsenal
Arsenal
won
won 91,
And Leeds
then
won
would have won
92.
92,
Yeah.
and then it goes into
Yeah.
It was Man U dominating after that.
United should have won the league.
So that was Liverpool's last
That was
year.
their last
Obviously,
one before.
the one recent.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Wowzers.
Yeah, I remember being a Liverpool supporter for that one. And then,
Just for that one.
And then a Leeds one, and then an Arsenal one. Any other big sporting events grab your attention in this particular year? I've got down a bit of boxing news with Mike Tyson
I lost
losing to Buster Douglas.
Merrifield.
Yeah,
Buster Merrifield,
Uncle
Uncle Albert. Uncle Albert. Who am I? Uncle Albert from Only Fools. Yeah. I mean, it's an unfair weight advantage that he was carrying, but he gave it a good go, didn't
Beard
he?
softens the blows.
Very light, huge, but very light. That's the problem. And then the emergence of Mr. Pete Sampras in the tennis.
Yeah, didn't he win the US Open, didn't he?
On the US Open, they went on to dominate on hard courts for however long he did, but yeah, it was.
He was a
other
great
than that,
player, wasn't he? Sampras. He was a great player.
Yeah,
One of the best.
Oh,
Yeah, the hair
you'd
is
argue,
the
wouldn't you?
legs,
Yeah,
though.
oh, absolutely.
And I
Him or
think
Federer?
Phil, is that why you liked him so much?
Maybe that's what it is. The wear-rang. Well, his rivalry with Agassi as well, the poster boy, and then the Wolverine.
Well, he had the,
But Pete Sampras in his prime and a Federer in his prime would win. That's a
It's
tough one, isn't it?
Pistol Pete with his massive serve. I think it's probably going to be Federer.
I think it'd be Federer. I think
Pistol
as
Pete.
much as I love
It does, doesn't it?
As much as I did used to like watching Sampras, I think Federer's the better.
He was just a
all-rounder,
bit
isn't he?
wham bam, wasn't he? And then if the serve wasn't working, he didn't have much else to fall back on.
Didn't he
but-
beat him? And like they just missed out on eras, didn't they?
Yeah, he kind of passed it
probably
over
did,
there. I think
yeah.
Federer just like one of his last matches beat him, didn't he? And it was kind of like the passing of
But, yeah, very young Federer.
Another pistol.
The water pistol.
Yeah, I remember with Agassi. Yeah, Agassi had the hairy chest, and he had the weirdest look. Didn't he? He had the cap. He had the
flowing-
shaved bit, and then
The
long
flowing locks,
mullet.
but with the kind of undercut mullet type. I don't know. There's about 4 haircuts in one.
Yeah,
Wasn't
and he again because he had such long hair and his hairline was going ages ago, but he had the cap on, didn't he? I always remember a girl we went to school with just like saying this. I always remember. I won't name her name, but you could probably guess who it is. She was in my class, but I remember she saying that she'd like Andre Agassi to serve a ball into her vagina.
Who says
There's
they
some
won't?
things you just don't forget.
What would she benefit from that?
I don't know.
I mean, it wouldn't matter who served
Well, I
it
mean,
into
I
her,
suppose
would it?
she'd have a tennis ball at the end of the day.
It wouldn't matter who served it into her, though, would it, really?
Well, if she had a choice, it's like she wants Andre Agassi to do it. She doesn't want.
What, because of his technique?
I don't know. Well, I get maybe. It's just like I guess so. I don't know. I just guess because he's hot and she likes Andre Agassi rather than I don't know Tim Henman.
So why does she need a tennis ball at all? Would be the question.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
I'm not the girl.
No, you should have questioned her today, Dale. You missed out there.
It was
mate.
too-
I mean,
it was
you know,
too
she's
bizarre.
what does it matter? Agassi, or like you say,
Too many
Tim
what ifs
Henman.
and maybes.
It's a
isn't
ball.
there? Yeah.
It's quite-
Maybe she just really likes tennis balls.
Yeah, I think she was
That's
going
the
more
weird
for the
thing.
technique. Maybe put backspin on it.
Yeah,
She liked the way he put backspin on it,
Well,
so it
goes
would have
in.
entered in a
It goes in and spins back
A
out.
slice.
pop
pop a
less
slice on it.
impact.
Impact.
As
More
Sampras.
pleasure.
Sampras would have just ruined her.
I reckon Federer would have
in and
given
out.
her the pleasure.
Pistol Pete.
He would have just been like a shotgun bullet, wouldn't it?
Pistol Pete.
I reckon she would have been. I reckon she would have been disappointed with Stefan Edberg, who actually won it.
Are you tired of making embarrassing noises when ejaculating? Do you find you'd like to sound more like a Scouser? Here at Liverpudlian Ejaculators, we're here to care. We care about you coming. Ay, 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 ay.
Well, that's our less than comprehensive look back at 1990. Hopefully you found it enjoyable and it's given you some food for thought, or maybe even transported you back to that glorious year for just a little while. If you want to get in touch with us to debate anything we've covered in this podcast, feel free to get in touch on info@not40justblank.com. My thanks to you, Del and Phil, for some enlightening and somewhat scary recollections of 1990. I'm looking forward to seeing what you can dredge up for 1991. Until then, thanks for joining us here on Not 40 Just Blank.